When you want your spring break to feel like... and your kids' pool day to feel like... and your hotel bed to feel like... ooh, and room service to feel like... because at Hilton, hospitality feels like...
Your cabana's ready. Would you like fresh towels?
it matters where you stay. Book now at Hilton.com. Hilton, for the stay.
This episode is brought to you by Nespresso. Introducing Vertuo Up, the latest in a long line of innovation from Nespresso. It's innovation you can touch, sense, and taste in every single cup. With a 3-second start, easy open lever, and dedicated brew over ice button, it's even easier to enjoy your coffee your way. Sip for yourself. Shop Vertuo Up exclusively at Nespresso.com.
Let's do this. For those not familiar with the Nocturnal Affair, kind of like I wasn't before I started researching for the show, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Maybe like the 2-sentence elevator boardroom pitch?
Sure. We're a dark rock band based out of Sin City. We started as a bit of a goth rock band parody, in a way, which turned into something a little more real. And the parody songs ended up becoming more songs that I wrote from personal experiences in the heart. And I didn't realize how quickly it would connect to people like me. Very, very interesting adventure so far.
Okay. I know you said goth rock, but like I said, when I was prepping for this thing, I got to deep. And deep is a little bit more than just a dark rock track, right? That's sort of like a ballady kind of...
Yeah, so the goth rock was the very early stages of the Nocturnal Affair. It was even before we called ourselves the Nocturnal Affair. I still am big into like Sisters of Mercy, His Infernal Majesty, Typo Negative. And that was like 2015, 2016. We were under the moniker called The Feels. Like, is it like, oh, right in the feels.
Right.
When people started connecting with us more, I was like, I'll do this for real. We switched over to the Nocturnal Affair, and it became actual, written songs from the heart. And deep is something that's, it's the name says it's all. It's
beautiful. I mean, like, almost gives you chills kind of song, but it's like real authentic. And I equate it to like a balladesque kind of song, right? From like something you would have heard in the 80s, early 90s kind of thing.
Yeah. It's funny. It was originally just a piano ballad. One of my biggest influences that I actually don't talk about a lot was early Evanescence. Like, I learned guitar to that first record. Whisper was one of the first songs I learned guitar to. And seeing Amy and hearing about her being a choir kid growing up into rock music, it's a very similar path I took. I was in choir from a very young age, and I loved how she always incorporated the piano into her singing. So I figured, why not try something similar to that? And that's where Deep emerged from.
How did What Is Love come about? I stumbled on that one.
What Is Love was originally a pitch by my previous guitar player, Andy. And we were about to play the Jericho Cruise for like the first or second time. And we needed a party rock cover. And he was like, I'm telling you, this is going to be the one. And the rest of the band was kind of like, no, what do you mean? It's so goofy. Let's cover something else. Like, I had a bass player that wanted to cover some Tool, and somebody else wanted to do like Marilyn Manson, like something more. And he was like, just listen to this version. And so he showed us, his version of it he'd come up with. And we were like, this is fantastic. So we played it live. The people went absolutely nuts. And our management saw it and they went, yeah, this is going to happen. And it was no longer our choice or even our version anymore. They took it, we recorded it. They kind of made this like Frankenstein's monster version of it with like their ideas, some of our ideas. Right. And it became this kind of beautiful monster that we can't stop playing. We love it. It's like a lot of people will play a cover and then they'll start getting known by that cover. And they're like, oh, I'm so sick of fucking playing that song. But I never tire of playing that song. It's given me the ability to visit new countries all over the world, and I've never met these people. We probably don't speak the same language, but I start playing that song, and they're all singing with me. We are
But
now
needless
together
to
in this.
say, it's a
We're
set
partying.
standard then, right?
Yeah,
It's in every set.
it's made us friends everywhere we go because it's everyone's heard that song. I love it. It's become a blessing.
Are there any of other of those on the chalkboard, or was that like kind of a one-off thing?
So that's the one that we've recorded. Um, Another one we like to play a lot, but we recorded, but we'll probably never release it because honestly, Toto already did it. And how do you go up against Toto? We have our own version of Weezer's Hash Pipe.
Hmm.
So we liked, and we kind of made it a little bit more metal. And we play in drop a lot of the time because I'm a baritone vocally. And so the original song by Weezer is in just the key of A in standard tuning. So we've taken it, we dropped it a whole octave on all of the instruments. So it's just so heavy.
Heavy.
And it's such, and everybody knows that one too. So it's really cool.
And Toto's one of those bands. I think Steve Lukather does not get nearly the attention he deserves because he's a monster player.
It's insane. They all are. They are all individually some of the best musicians in the industry, and they've managed to. Is it true that they started as session musicians?
Think so.
Yeah, that's probably why they're better than everybody else. But still, it's
Yeah, I mean, I saw him live a few times, and I was just totally amazed how underrated of a player he is.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's just if you even just focusing on the little nuances from any drum part in any Toto song is like it's insane.
Fair enough. So let's talk about the band then. So your origin story involves going from an anonymous band like Stunts local radio to packed first show at the House of Blues. When you look back at that now, what's one thing you did completely wrong that you'd never change because it probably became part of the Nocturnal Affair's DNA?
Something we did wrong, but I would never change.
Mhm.
Probably going about that. So the anonymity and packed House of Blues show goes back to when I told you we started out as that kind of parody goth rock band.
Right.
I would wear a big hood, and I would put on a half mask, and I'd have a big black wig kind of coming down or around my face, and I'd have those Ozzy Osbourne round glasses so nobody knew it was me. And at the time I played in this local metal band, and I kind of used them for this one show. And because I didn't have anybody else, I wrote and I recorded everything. I sent it into the radio station, acted like we were this anonymous rock band of,
Right.
Players from all over the world. And so, we had this great show. And it pissed my metal band off because they were like, why aren't we getting opportunities like this? What the hell is this? And so I've always felt a little guilty for kind of using them for that moment. And then kind of being like, all right, guys, I'll see you later. I'm going to do this thing because I get to do what I want. And when I was in that metal band, it's like everybody had their voice. It was a democracy. And in my mind at the time, because I didn't know how to communicate properly, I was a lot younger, I thought that was slowing me down. So I was like, I need something where I am the dictator. What I say goes. I say jump, you say how high. And
Right.
so I kind of just like ditched those guys and started this. Yeah. So I kind of regret it, but I wouldn't change it because now we're here. So yeah.
Was it difficult going from the gimmicky band to the full-blown Nocturnal Affair that's no longer a gimmick but putting out some really great stuff? Was that a difficult transition, especially with fans, right? Because did those all take the journey with you, or?
Locally, we've been very blessed because the Las Vegas local scene is very difficult for original musicians. So I had a lot of fans from the metal band follow over, but it's because of local heroes like the cover bands. It's why we have our fans like Smashing Alice and Tinnitus and various other bands like that. allowed the Nocturnal Affair, when we were just cutting our teeth and barely had a following, they would allow us to open for them when they were selling out. So we were in front of this massive crowd that came to see a cover band, and they'd see us and go, oh, okay. And from then on, we'd always have fairly big crowds at our shows. So we were very lucky with that. But it was very difficult to go from the parody to reality. And it still is sometimes, because I've found that when I'm very uncomfortable, I will resort to humor. Sometimes it's self-deprecating. Sometimes it's, breaking somebody else's chops in order to focus on maybe like the reality of the art that I'm trying to portray to people I'm connecting with. It's a little difficult. It's a little uncomfy to not be silly and goofy.
Right. Do you ever feel like you put too much of yourself into a song?
Yeah, that was deep. Deep was never supposed to be for the Nocturnal Affair. In reality, I wrote Deep during the pandemic to help me get through what I was going through. Generally, the lyrics in Deep are so dark to me that I connect with them personally. But if I were to read them on a piece of paper, I would go, wow, this is cheesy. Like this is a little cliche, a little dramatic. But at the time, it is how I felt. And I just said, I want to sing it, get it out of me, get this poison out. You know what I mean? So I can move forward and feel better.
What is that like then when that becomes the single and you got to hear it all the time, or you play that live every night? Are you ripping scabs off? Well, how do you get through
It's
that?
funny you say that. It's funny you say that. So it is currently, I'm actively working through not getting emotional while I play that song, because it takes me back. I relive those emotions, because so I record it once, maybe twice, and then I had to go in and record it in the UK as well. In the middle of a tour, we had to do the third verse to it, another chorus, and it was recorded like all over the world, kind of. But when I did it, it was very like one and done, and then you don't think about it. The team edits it, they release it, you record the music video, and then you sit without it for like maybe a year or two,
Jeez.
and you don't think about it. And now I'm like, okay, I got to do it and perform it. And it's like your mind automatically, it's like reliving a traumatic experience. And I'm not used to it yet. So I'm getting emotional I'm trying to sing it with the boys. And I'm like getting choked up during certain parts. And I'm remembering the friends that I lost to suicide during the pandemic in the middle of rehearsal. I'm just like, okay, I guess I'm tearing up. I guess this is an emotional moment. It's a very interesting, it's almost therapeutic, but it's almost like I get a little panic, because I'm like, how am I going to do this live in front of a
So is
full
it like
audience?
Groundhog Day, for lack of
Yeah,
a better
it's
word,
weird.
over and over again?
Yeah, that's and that's kind of how Cross Me Out was originally too. When it first, that song was a very emotional song for me. When I was in the studio with Johnny Andrews, I was going through a little bit of shit, and excuse my language. And
Oh no.
when we started playing it live for the first couple times, it would get to me a little bit, but hopefully the first time I'm really playing this in the form that it's in is going to be next week for a private show in Las Vegas. So that'll hopefully I don't get too teary eyed.
So it's not going to be that big of a place though, which might be worse.
Oh yeah, it's going to be around like most of the radio programmers in America. It's like at this event called Happens, and they're like, we want it, stripped down, acoustic. Here we go, and I'm like, I'm gonna cry. This is gonna
for 5 people or whatever, right?
Yeah, like how do I get through this? Like, so it's just exposure therapy at this point. So I'm literally rehearsing it every single day for like the next 2 weeks, and just kind of got to get into a different mode so I don't like relive what this song has done to me. You know what I mean? Like it's wild.
Las Vegas is all neon and spectacle, but your music leans into the melancholy and the shadows. What is the most Vegas moment that ever inspired a brutally honest lyric?
When you grow up in a town that is heavily dependent on casinos, you experience, like when you're away from the strip, you experience like the station casinos, the mom and pop bars that have, gambling machines attached
Really
to
like
it.
that?
Huh?
It's really like that?
Oh, there's bars with machines in the bar. So you like go into a place. There's like a local chain out here called PT's in the Lodge, and you can go to drink. You can go to play some billiards. But if you're sitting at the bar, there's always a machine in front of you. It's always there. So if you don't have self control with gambling, you really can't escape it. Um, so it's like, I have family members that struggle with this. Thankfully, I don't gamble. I don't do it. Like, I'll if I've got a deck of cards and we're on tour, maybe we'll play some blackjack. But like, I do not go into the casinos to gamble. I'll go for the restaurants. I'll go for the movie theaters, the arcades. I'll stay
Right.
away from the machines, and just because I've seen it destroy lives. You go in and you see these like old adorable people that look like your grandparents, your aunts, your uncles, people that they all have this look to them. Then maybe it's because it's been a personal experience for me, and you just feel this like empathy, and you see them just at the machine completely. They look dead. They look like zombies, and they're just poking away at the buttons, spending their hard-earned money that turned into retirement that could be used for something else, and it's just bleeding. It's just bleeding out of them into this casino. And so there's been multiple times where I've written about whether it's like people with zombie-like features or droning on, disassociating, disconnecting, stuff like that, and then it's been inspired by so I visualize just these people getting rid of their entire life's worth and work because a casino is in front of them and they don't have self-control. When my sister used to work for the Luxor, and you would be surprised how often people go to the Strip, they're staying at the Luxor, they spend all of their money there, and then the Luxor, it has that pyramid, right? And every floor is kind of set up like that. So the top floor, you can see into the casino, but the floor below it, there's a wider point of view. So there's nothing to catch your fall. So people go and they've like spent all of their money, and then they go to the top floor and then they just fall into the hotel lobby because they've lost everything. So I grew up seeing like that darker side of Vegas, and it's absolutely inspired a lot of lyrics. Yeah.
What's next for you? I know you said you've got a showcase coming up. Are you taking this on the road at all?
We have a showcase, and we're looking at a bit of a tour coming up this spring. It hasn't been announced yet, and the details aren't fully worked out yet, so I don't want to say too much. But yeah, we will be on the road pretty soon here, within the next few months.
Beautiful. And for fans that want to find you, how can they do so?
Our website is great, nocturnalaffair.com. We're on Instagram, The Nocturnal Affair. We're on TikTok. We're on Facebook. We're, wherever you can find your music, whether it's Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, etc.
Okay. And then lastly, I've got one that's completely out of the box just for the hell of it, just for a little fun. All right. Imagine a future tour where the Nocturnal Affair performs in an actual haunted venue, documented for the Paranormal Channel, where every song in the set has to be matched to a specific ghost story from the building. What 3 tracks from your catalog are you picking?
Oh, Exoskeletal, probably Numa Waits, and Hunt. And we have played a haunted venue.
Really?
We've played the Thompson House.
Where's that at?
I'm trying to remember. We've been on so many tours. It was our first tour with the 69 Eyes, which is back when we were way more like dark rock, goth, industrial. We didn't even have Metamorphosis yet. It was in the early stages of that record, and it was absolutely, supposedly, haunted, if that's what you believe in, to the point where they showed us the upstairs. We got a little bit of a ghost tour, and on the stairs they constantly put a line of salt to see if it breaks when nobody's around, because they say the ghosts storm up and down the stairs and will disturb the salt that they lay down. It was a wild experience. When the 69 Eyes was sound checking, they lost power for absolutely no reason, like 3 times. Yeah, it was wild.
Did you you knew that going in?
we got there, and then they were like, "Yeah, the place is haunted. If you guys want, we'll be giving a ghost tour a little bit later, and you guys can follow along with it." And because during the day, I believe they gave ghost tours, and then at night it turned into a music venue because it had a great hall, and it was a great show. It was a lot of fun. It ended up storming. I don't know if like the weather was saying it was going to, but there was this like massive rainstorm, and the back area that we were loading out was like flooding, and like, yeah, it was the last time we ever decided to print stickers because like we had one of our guitar player's brother helping us move stuff out, and he like slipped in the one of the puddles and dropped our merch, and the stickers were on top, and they all fell into the water, and just like that, our entire order of stickers were water damaged. So yeah, but yeah.
Good stuff. Man, that's terrible.
But it was a great show. It was a great venue. We had a lot of fun.
Well, that brings me to the end. I know I was kind of all over the place, but I like to talk. So I appreciate you taking the time. Can I get you to do a bumper for me before you go? Your name, band, sure. And you're listening to the Brutally Delicious podcast.
This is Brennan from the Nocturnal Affair, and you are listening to the Brutally Delicious podcast.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you taking the time. I really do dig deep. It's that was really cool listening to that while I was prepping for everything. So thanks for the good music. Yep, yeah. Be well. Good luck. And hopefully we'll see you over here on this side. I'm in Richmond. I don't know how far. Yeah, I don't know what you're. Yeah.
Oh, I love
we'll catch you guys over this way sometime along the way.
I would love that. Yeah.
Good metal scene anyway. Come down and hang.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm down for that.
All right, man. We'll see you.
See you later.
Cheers.